I think design is taking something in the world and transforming it into something else for the better. So design is necessarily an act of transformation. Well, because bad design transforms bad things in a bad way. So what constitutes good design is another question, which we could talk about. But I think that the whole way that what I was talking about in my lecture was that design is not just about making beautiful objects. Design is about understanding and trying to make sense of the world. And I think that you need people to be good at doing that, at making sense of the world. So that I like beautiful things. I kind of like aesthetics, but I think the most important thing is not just to talk about aesthetics and products and objects, but also talk about design as a wider societal agent. Well, I think architecture is more complex, inevitably, than you can design a chair and there's only so much you can do with a chair. You can make it higher, you can make it lower, more comfortable, less comfortable. There are lots of chairs in the world, but they basically do one thing, which is allow you to sit down. Whereas a building is so much more complex, and has, for me, the most important thing a building does is to set up social relationships. And that means that you're dealing with things which you cannot control, but you can suggest or you can provide a background to allow these various activities to happen. Yes, of course. I mean, I think that in a place like this or in any design school, you get a brilliant set of ideas coming out every day. The trouble is most of those ideas are very self-contained, that exist just within a portfolio, don't have a wider discussion beyond these walls. But I think that I'm an optimist, that I think that the people with good creative ideas should be out there and having them with other people in order not to impose those ideas on other people, but to allow other people to share in making the world a better place. I think by allowing everybody to believe that they can make their lives better through creative thinking. At the moment, people don't feel that they can contribute to that discussion. And I think that I'm interested in the way that designers working with other people and allowing other people's ideas to come to the surface, to be expressed, and then the designer giving material form to them. So I don't like the idea of design being an expert profession. I think everyone should be allowed to design in some way. A good design school shouldn't have a style, it shouldn't have an orthodoxy. A good design school should be the expression of the voices of everyone in there. And the objective that I would have as an educator is to give the students as much space, as much confidence, the skills to allow them to develop themselves, rather than to just develop in the shadow of the master teacher. I think that generally, at a very general level, people come to a school like Central St Martin's for its freedom, for the ability to express themselves. And they come because they see more experimental work going on, and more work which cannot be defined through style or through certain characteristics. So I think that there is a freedom in the British system which other countries don't have to the same extent.